Well, that could be the Blue Prince, I guess. With a red coat. The Red Prince. Hello and welcome back everybody to this new episode of Blue Prince. Today, the first thing I want to do is to turn around, go back out into the outdoors area to see which rooms we can draft today. We're gonna lose a bunch of steps, about six I think, by going there and back. But that should hopefully be fine. I would like to get to the shelter. I think we should be able to get a shelter here. Trading post items for trade. I don't have anything to trade, so let's just go shelter. I just want to see if we can go down here, really. Let's see. Ominous music. I like the way that the steps are different depending on the material we walk on. The music is always very good in this game. I like it. Shelter the grounds, that's where we're at. Uh-huh. Lots of water canisters. Canned water, canned fruit, vitamins. We have a letter here. Remain where you are for now, given that the Red Guard is due tomorrow. We've agreed with your plan and have disabled remote access to the other terminals and have sealed the network mainframe. Regardless of the danger, I'm still not willing to risk removing shelter from the draft pool while the three of you are down there. Our best bet is to sit tight and hope for a little bit of luck. Let's take a screenshot. Alright, that should be good. I have a bunch of notes in the journal here at the top that we can go through a bit later. For now, I just want to check out this shelter, to be honest. Time lock safe. Canned water. Time lock safe. Time lock. But I can see inside, no? What is that? Looks like there's a little hole there to look through. Might be wrong. Okay. Welcome to Mount Holly Bomb Shelter. Time lock safe. Well, let's time lock safe, sure. The shelter's time lock safe can be accessed by setting an unlocked date and time. You can use any date and time as long as it's at least 1 hour in the future. Once unlocked, the time lock safe will remain open for 4 hours. Well, sure. Okay, we don't know. Did we know what date was today? I don't think we know. Wait. Wait. No, we do know. Right? Or no? It's basically 8 o'clock. Ah, damn, we don't know when. We know that Dad gave us this letter. But we don't know when it was sent off. I think. Let me quickly check all other texts that we have to see if we have any indication. Vacate. Okay. So staff must vacate the premises by Friday, November 6th. November 7th was terminal. November 4th, all work has been suspended at Mount Holly. There are no dates here. There was terminal chatter. on the 7th of November. So after staff must have vacated, people were talking on the terminal. That was in November, but we don't know today's date. He said he wanted to send off this letter before they depart tomorrow. We can't see when it was sent. I feel like this letter should have information about when it was sent, but I can't see it. Okay, so I don't actually... I mean, I do think we're probably still in November, probably later November, I don't know. Because the staff must vacate the premises. Why? Because we are coming to explore, right? So I would assume that it is not that much later after the staff has vacated. Radiation monitor. A measurement of the radiation levels detected in the house and surrounding grounds. These readings are often spiked by the experiments conducted in Mount Holly's laboratory. If the reading is 12 USV or higher, emergency protocol will initiate and all doors in the house will automatically unlock. All doors, including the antechamber? Take USV measurement. It is now 0.12. It must exceed 12. Okay, we're far below. Okay, let's log in. Because that puts the... Does that put the monitor into the RTA? What do you mean no other are currently connected? Oh, do you actually need to have them on the same day for them to be connected? I thought not. Okay. Well, I don't actually know what day it is today. Okay. I think that's it for now. Here. Good to know. Yeah, so I have a bunch of things in the journal that I quickly want to bring up as soon as we're back inside. Because during my edit of the last recording, the last episode, I noticed a few things. So let's get back to the top here. So what I did notice, yeah, we had this prophecy from Azarak, Artstar, or whatever this dude's name was, and he mentioned a red flag. And on the letter that we got from Dad, there is a red flag on here. I just noticed that, right? And I also thought, I think I said this, maybe this is Swedish Crown or something. This could also be Sinclair Royal Mail, SKR Mail, because we know it's Royal Mail because, where was that? Yeah, here, Royal Mail, right? Sinclair Royal, I don't know. And then everywhere it says Sinca Co for corporation or company, I'm not sure. But Sinca could also be Sinclair or Sinclair Car something. I don't know, just something that could be. And then as of now, my next goals would be to try to get delivery mail from the mailroom, because we activated the mailroom in the last, like yesterday. So we should get mail from there today. We just did that with the shelter. I want to do this every day to see what other options we have out there. Then the treasure map is something we could do. Terminals in the office would be something. If we get a breaker switch, we'll do the AC/DC switch puzzle. Yeah. And that's probably all we're gonna get. Maybe if we get another car key, we'll try to see if there's another upgrade module. Okay. So I'm probably just gonna stay, as I said last time, just gonna stay in the beginning area, not to go too far. That was the sound in my apartment. Anyways, and then once we kind of have explored here, we'll push on. What time is it, by the way? Okay, not even 10. Fine, we have a lot of time. Last time I got the mail room here, I think. So we're going to try to stay in this area to try to find the mail room. Welcome back, everybody, to this episode of Blueprints. If you enjoyed the series so far, feel free to leave a like at the bottom. That would help the channel tremendously. And if you would like to stick around, be sure to subscribe to the channel and enable the bell. That way you won't miss any future episodes of this series. Take care. We're gonna go for Parlor because it gives us 2 gems which are useful. As long as I don't screw up the puzzle, I guess. Sure, let's take the apple now. If we would get an experiment, I guess we could get more from the apple, but probably not going to get the laboratory. The gems are in a box with a true statement. The statement on the blue box is true. 2 of these statements are true. The statement on the blue box is true. 2 of these statements are true. The gems are in a box with a true statement. Okay. So if 2 statements are true, that means this one would need to be true. The statement on the blue box is true. On the blue box is true. That means these 2 would be the truth, this would be the lie. The gems are in a box with a truth. If this is false, it would be in the black box. So I'm inclined to go for the black box right now. So if 2 of these statements are true, if that's false, that means only 1 is true. The statement on the blue box is true, which would be false. That means this would be true. No, this would also be false. But then we wouldn't know in which one. Oh, let me think again. If this is false, that means this is also false. 2 of these statements are true. If this is false, then this has to be false. Then this is true. So it would also be the black box. Yes. Was like, not sure if I made a thinking error there, but I guess it was fine. We want to go leftish. If we get right axis, that doesn't really matter, but we really want to go left. Okay. Probably gonna go for the den, because it gives me more diamonds. Then just quickly look around. Sometimes there's fruit, right? We want to go left and right. So we're going to go for the chapel. We're not losing any money because we don't have any. We're going to go left first. If we get a breaker box, we'll do that. And if we get the mail, even better. We might also get the library, because this is where the library was last, right? Oh, we're sheltered. I see at the bottom right. We're sheltered because of the shelter, I guess, yeah. So we are actually not losing any money, which is kind of useless because we don't have any anyways. Okay. Probably gonna go... So we've never been to the nursery. Should we just go nursery just to check it out? To get more clues? Let's do it. I would have otherwise gone storeroom for the resources, but we've never been to a nursery, I think. So let's go nursery to check it out. We get 5 steps, which is good. This is very soft floor, probably a carpet or something. We can hear that from the steps. Some seahorses. can't toss over the tower here. Oh, there's a gem in here. So the nursery is actually free. If you... Okay, but you get an item. It could be a gem, so it would be free. We have... well, that could be the Blue Prince, I guess. With a red coat. The Red Prince. Oh, because he has a red coat, so there's a one with a blue coat as well. Marion Marigold. Wasn't that one that also wrote a book? Wait. Marion Marigold, Swimbird. Okay. There was a red prince who sat on a red throne. He had a red crown made of rubies, and a red castle made of stone. Maybe he also had a red flag on that red castle, right? Everything's very red. Okay. Ah, see, the flag. The prince had a love for all things red. It's the only true color, the prince often said. The only true color. That reminds... So red and blue, right? So we know it's the Blue Prince, it's the Red Prince. That really reminds me of the Matrix with the red and blue pill. Where red usually symbolizes to exit the system, to enter the true world, the real world. So maybe we are the Blue Prince right now because we're stuck in here, and as soon as we lift all the secrets, we become the Red Prince? I don't know. Okay, he could not stand the sight of a canary or crow. He could not stand the white of a swan in the snow. Wait again. Swimbird was the other book, okay. And he never looked up for fear of the view. He had heard that the sky was not a red hue. I like the poetic approach to this. It's very similar to my game because I'm using some poetic text as well there. So he always had a book to turn his eyes down if he was ever outside when the clouds weren't around. When the clouds weren't around, okay? And do you know which book the prince always had? The one that made him happy whenever he was sad? A story he had read in the bath and the bed, and maybe you can guess with the clues that we have said. It was the story of a boy who also wore red, and he looked like our prince from his toes to his head. And as you, my reader, might already assume, this book is quite near you, in fact, in the same room. So he read this book about himself. A story about you, if it needs to be said, about a red prince and his book, the red book we just read. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like putting more emphasis on what I just said before, that we are actually the Red Prince, but right now we might still be the blue one, I feel like. Although here in the book it seems like the red one is the one that's trapped in his world, and if he takes the blue pill, or the blue... if he becomes the Blue Prince, he escapes, but that's the other way around that these colors usually work, so... At least I think it is. I might be wrong now. Now I'm second-guessing myself. It's blue and red drawers. Blue and... so there's a blue ball here, there's a red ball here, right? Very blue-red. Here as well. Everything ties into the color scheme. In the Matrix, Neo takes the red pill. This choice awakens him to the real world. Yeah, exactly. So I wouldn't know why the Red Prince, who's red, is trapped in his world. The blue one should be trapped and the red one should be free. Or like, at least, the red one should have awoken. Quickly gonna take pictures of the book. There's so many pages here. I'm just taking one screenshot after the other. It's gonna completely fill up our journal. Alright, we have the entire book in here now. It took me a second to do that. I'll cut it out, of course. I don't want to bother you with that. Yeah, lots of stars. What this also reminds me of, right? There's a book called, yeah, The Little Prince. Right? It has a lot of stars on it as well. It's like a prince on a planet or something. I forgot the story, but this is what it reminds me of as well. Just based on the visuals here. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. We're gonna try explore this area for the mailing room. Got sheltered again. Okay, probably gonna go for commissary. So that we continue on around here. We could also go breaker box. Yeah. Now let's go commissary. And try to, with crow, without row. Very similar words though. I guess the crow, row, I guess the C, the row is basically the same word except the crow starts with a C, right? We have sugar, flour, coffee, screwdriver. Oh, can we buy all of this stuff? Magnifying glass, sledgehammer, sleeping mask, running shoes. So running shoes just prevent us from losing steps. Sleeping mask give us extra steps when going into a bedroom. Sledgehammer allows us to open boxes. But the magnifying glass would be really interesting. It's good to know that this is for sale here today. In case we are coming back. But we need $4 or how much? Yeah, 4. Okay. Now here I would like to go left. I don't think there's anything else in here. Oh, let's take a picture of that quickly. Alright, we got a picture. Let's quickly look at these again now that we have 3. So, stairs, stars, also very similar. Stairs has an extra I in between. Right? What's this? This is clock. Okay. Definitely onto something. Has a C as well. And this is crow, row. Also this. Okay. I mean, that's certainly a pattern. That has only ever occurred in the commissary, I think. Okay, we want to go left now. Drawing room. Bedroom. The drawing room was interesting because we had this little safe that we couldn't open. But I'm probably gonna go bedroom for extra steps. Because I don't know the combination to the safe and I don't want to spend a gem on that. There might be something here. No, not this time. So if the boy likes stars, right? Then what is that? The mother likes the moon? Don't know. Okay, we actually didn't read the nursery. Let me quickly read the nursery. One of the few rooms you vividly remember from your visits here in your youth. That's why the book is there. We potentially read the book as a child. Though even at that time, you remember feeling a little old for the activities provided here. The twin cribs found in this room might suggest that at one point in time, there had been some hopeful expectations of a sudden growth of the family tree. Okay. Okay, now we want to go Straight or left? We have a lot of access here to the right part, which is good. Oh, the blessing's still active. Okay, let's go straight leftish. The archives. Could be able to see all 3 of your potential floor plans. Oh. Yeah, but we're protected from with the shelter from this, no? I think. So that should be fine. I definitely want to see what the archives is, even if that screws up today's run. Oh, ominous music already queued before we even enter. Yeah, so bottom says sheltered again. Footsteps are good. They really put you in the space here. Very important. Similar like in The Witness, where Jonathan Blow had to record hundreds of thousands, maybe not hundreds of thousands, maybe hundreds or thousands of different footsteps for their game. Because there it's basically the only sound you have. There's no music in that game. Okay. We can flip through a couple pages here. Okay. August 22nd, year 85. Marigold wins Herald Literacy Honor. Oh, is she wearing? Wait, is she wearing? Is that her? I don't know. Popular children's writer. Oh, that's Marion Marigold. Adds yet another feather to her scholastic cap when she discovered on Thursday that her picture book Swimbird had been chosen as the Herald Literary Medal Illustrated Book of the Year. This is Marigold's second time winning this prestigious honor. The previous medal was, of course, for her debut effort. She was no stranger to the public eye even before her literature success, the niece and closest living relation of Baron H.S. Sinclair. So she's the niece and closest living relation, aside from us, I guess. I mean, maybe she's still alive. Mary began using Marigold as a pen name to free her from the political associations that one might make with the Sinclair family. Oh, she didn't like the family due to their political views. January 27th, year 86. Slightly different writing of the year here. Not sure if that's intentional. Swimbird author never considered herself success by Gail Hermes, Herald staff writer. She confined, my son was the one that actually got me to start writing. Niece. Are we the son? Wait, she was the niece? No, then we're not the son of Marigold, right? I had always challenged myself to never tell him the same story twice at bedtime, and so as we ran out of books we owned, my imagination had to take over from there. Marigold has elaborated in her previous interviews that her debut book, Red Prince, is based on her son. Dude, okay, now before we continue, I need to write down a family tree quickly. Okay, so we have H.S. Sinclair. We have me. What's my name again? P. Where's my facts? Here. Simon P. Jones. That's me. And we have my dad. Forgot the name, but we're going to look it up quickly. Does he have a name? I'm sure he has, but do we know it? Dad. Come on. Dad? That's his address? I mean, I'm sure he's also called Jones, right? I mean, not necessarily. Arrival. Oh, I'll forget to tell you Friday night. Arrival is Friday night. Our arrival at mansion, or estate, or whatever, I'll call it mansion, is Friday night. But we don't know which date. Where is the letter? Here. You're yelling at me right now. I can tell you're really excited. You're guilty of a funeral. How long? Uncle Herbert. I know how long uncle. Now, I'm really bad at these family things. For me, an uncle is someone, it's the brother of your parent. So the brother of one's father or mother, or the husband or male partner of one's aunt. So it could be like that. No, wait. The brother of one's father or mother. Aha. The brother, okay. So he's the brother of one's father or mother. So we have a mother. We don't know what her name is though. We have someone who's our dad. So let's put mother here maybe. And this is the brother of either of them. Okay, so what we know, once we get the correct tool again, I can never find it, is that we are a descendant of our parents, that's sure. Then what we're not sure about, let's do this pinkish. Either Sinclair is the brother of our mother or it's the brother of our dad. Right? So let's say brothers. Brother. Parents' brother. That's who he is. But we don't know of who exactly. So we're called Jones. Usually. I'm not sure, but usually the son takes the name of the dad, right? So this is Jones. P. So the P, the reason why we're called P must be relevant, I'm assuming. So then mother is called something Sinclair. With a C, not a G, not Sinclair. Right? But I'm not sure. That's just my assumption. Okay. So I'm assuming we're Simon P. Jones. I'm assuming dad's called Jones. Dad's the brother of Sinclair. And I'm assuming that my mother... No, I'm assuming that that's actually... I'm assuming that this is incorrect. I'm assuming that this is incorrect because Sinclair wouldn't be the brother of my dad and my mom. That would be a little bit weird, I guess. So I'm assuming Sinclair is the brother of my mother, and my mother is called Sinclair. And we got the P from our dad, maybe? Maybe we got the P from our dad. Or from our granddad, which is a bit weird. I don't like this kind of inheriting names. But often people do that, right? So we'll go with this for now. Okay, let's continue. She confided my son was the one that actually got me to start writing. I had always challenged myself to never tell him the same story twice at bedtime. This could be our mother. She was no strange public eye. The niece and closest living relation of Baron. The niece. What is a niece now? Isn't the niece the child of your mother's sibling? No. What is niece? Like that? A daughter of one's brother or sister. A daughter of one's brother or sister. Or one's brother-in-law or sister-in-law. This is so confusing to me. Like, just have parents, children, brothers, sisters. That's enough, man. A daughter of one's brother or sister. A daughter of one's brother or sister. So, this dude has a sister, so she has a child. That child is called Mary what? Marigold. Marigold. I mean, that's her fake name. That's her artist's name. Her real name is Marigold. Second time. Straight public eye. Niece and closest living relation of Baron H.S. Sinclair. Mary with a Y. Okay. Mary began using Marigold as a person name to free her from the political associations with the Sinclair family. Author never considered herself success. My son was the only one that actually got me to start writing. I had always challenged myself to never tell him the same story twice at bedtime, and so, as we ran out of books we owned, my imagination had to take over from there. Marigold had elaborated in previous interviews that her debut book, Red Prince, is based on her son and his inflexible love of the color red, a statement that has been held with much skepticism by the many pundits that viewed that book as a rather thinly veiled political critique of the Royalist Party and their unwavering blind loyalty to the throne. A statement that has been held with much care by the many pundits that viewed the book rather thinly veiled political critique of the Royalist Party and their... Okay, so the red is for royal. November 86. Publisher and author detained by Red Guard questioned. Caleb Manning and his publisher Philip White were 2 of 3 dozen names that appeared on a leaked dossier naming them a person of interest in the Trinsdale bombing that killed 4 people last Tuesday. Well, that was 86, but Trinsdale is where the driver went to. Suspicious. Although no group has come forth to officially take responsibility of the attack, it is widely believed by authorities to be the work of the insurgent group RLSCF, who also call themselves the Children of Blackwater. Blackwater was mentioned in the prophecy, no? Ruffington Press was quick to dismiss the rumors in a statement released on Friday, maintaining that the popular author and Mr. White were simply victims of an unfortunate happenstance, whatever that means. This would not be the first time that the publishing house has defended a rogue employee. 3 years ago, an associate editor with the company was arrested for criminal conspiracy, though the charges were later dropped. November 17th, we don't know which year, although probably 86. Reddington Herald, Marigold drops publisher. Local author and popular personality Marian Marigold has announced a split with her long-term publishing partner, Ruffington Press, citing personal reasons. The announcement came after the arrest last week of fellow author and colleague Caleb Manning, whom Marigold has past referred to as her mentor, friend, and confidant. Marigold is the 3rd prominent writer to distance themselves from the publisher this week. Manning and White at press function was seen... Oh, there's stuff missing. What? Was seen at the corner suspicious bag under... This is just cut. Bag under the waved down a local man. This is the 3rd major last year. This is anticipated charged by a crown. Manning was the last person. The trial begins on Tuesday, expected to last up to 6 weeks with grand treason. Okay. February 2187, so about a couple months later. No traces discovered of Sunka Harris, but search continues. Another necklace, although this time it's not the moon, at least not the crescent moon. This is more like a full moon or something. Mary Matthew Jones. Aha. So Mary... Okay. We're getting there. We're gonna have to fix this graphic later, but these two are married. Mary Matthew Jones. Let's put this here, Mary Matthew Jones. I'm actually not a descendant of this person. So we are the son of... So she's... This is our grandmother. But she... Well, it doesn't make any sense. Why would she be called... So isn't Matthew... Doesn't that mean she's called Matthew? I'm a bit confused right now. Mary Matthew Jones, the author and illustrator whose fanciful stories are written under the pen name Marian Marigold. Marian Marigold. Was last seen by a close friend around 3:45 p.m. Friday, getting into a carriage after a late luncheon date at the 100 Bells Tea Room in Trinsdale. Miss Jones never arrived home and the carriage driver cannot be located. That might be Christopher or Christoph. Family and local authorities are very concerned but have not deemed the case foul play. It's an out-of-character incident at this point and we are seeking information. Continues on. There's a lot of information here today. September 2nd. Is that... We don't know which year. Priceless jewels stolen in dramatic Royal Museum heist. Thieves in the royal capital of Fan Aries have broken into one of the Crown's fabled close exhibits. These lavish rooms have historically been reserved exclusively for the use of the aristocracy and high peerage, and access has never been granted to those outside noble circles, at least not until today, as local police and forensic experts have been spotted in virtually every corner of the museum grounds dredging for clues. We know there's a museum room in the estate. That might be linked. The museum authorities said they were alerted in the middle of night by reports of several masked intruders seen breaching the south wall and brandishing firearms. The intruders broke into the museum, subdued the royal guard, and disabled the security system. By the time the militia arrived on the scene, the burglars had simply vanished. Although an official registry of the lost jewels has not been publicly announced, among the treasured artifacts rumored to be stolen is the renowned ruby crown of Orinda Aries. Orinda. We do know that there is a place called Orindia based on the main menu, as well as some text that we found at some point. Seems oddly familiar here. The priceless crown jewel, whose materials worth pales in comparison to the historic value. If those rumors are true, the evidence may suggest that the theft was politically motivated. That almost makes it sound like Sinclair did something, and then Mary didn't like it and started distancing herself, including her name, because she knew that was due to political reasons. I'm going to take screenshots quickly, and I think at least at the end of this episode I'll try to piece together all this information again. I'll try to cut everything out that's not relevant, but we'll have a look at the final family tree as I believe it would be now. But I don't really want to waste that much daytime here trying to figure that out, so I'll do that once the episode is over. Or day is over. Let me first take screenshots quickly. Also, why is there, just as I'm taking these screenshots, why is there an empty page here? Have there been certain, like, newspaper pieces been stolen from the archives here? Maybe we'll find them somewhere else. Okay, that's it. Those are all the pages that we have. I'll try to piece that together in a bit again, but I kind of want to move on before we waste too much time. And I am going to stay on the left side here, exploring this part. We do want to go right now. The garage is definitely interesting for the keys because we don't have any keys. So I would say let's go garage for the keys. It will cost us a gem, but keys are really important later on, so we do need more keys. It's all the same, I believe. We don't have the key anymore. This doesn't work anymore. Don't think there's anything new here though. Okay, we got the keys, that's what I came here for. That means next we're going left. Now I'm gonna be curious if we get sheltered again or not. We do get sheltered again. But I thought we were sheltered when we entered the chapel. Then we entered the chapel again, second shelter. Then the archives, third, fourth. Ah, shelter protects you from the negative effects of the next 3 red rooms. Oh, that's cool. So we can even draft yet another red room and be sure that it won't have a negative effect. That's cool. We want to continue straight left. Of course. So obvious. Probably gonna go Nook for the key. There's usually nothing else in the Nook. At least so far I haven't seen anything. Now we really need to go right. Okay, the gymnasium. Walk-in closet. I mean, the walk-in closet would be interesting. It has 4 items. What? We could go afterwards archives, try to wrap around here. I'm really interested in the walk-in closet now. I think I'm gonna do that for the items. And then hope that through the archives we can find a way around here. If we can't, we'll try through the den. And if that also doesn't work, we'll go entrance hall. Takes our last gem though, which is a bit not so nice. Let's read up on the archives as well quickly. Countless shelves of documents are towering file cabinets and make this otherwise immense space seem small and cramped. These archives contain almost a century of records and files pertaining to the Sinclair's family, numerous interests, many of which are sealed and unable to be accessed. Okay, walk-in closet. The stylish and smart clothes in this generously sized closet belong to the former mistress of the estate, Lady Epson. Mistress is Lady Epson. Okay, we have to write that down. I won't remember. Ugh. Mistress is Lady Epson. Is that how it's spelled? Lady Epson, yeah. Though the small dressing room has not been used in many years, it is nevertheless kept up and preserved in the state you now find it. Interesting. Let's go. We have a lot of steps today, so... Okay, gems, 2 pieces, very good. Purse gives us... that's the interest thing, okay, gives us more... She has a birthmark that helps us identify her. I'm assuming that's her. She certainly tried to look very stylish, very good. Also with the bow. I like the bow. It's a nice accessory. Coupons. Save on each purchase you make in the estate. Okay. So this is just very good to get a couple items. But you are running into a dead end, which is meh. It's cute how the swan is on a little, on little waves here. All pairs of shoes are complete. We're not missing a shoe, right? No. We are not missing a shoe. She has a lot of shoes, though. Okay. I think that's it. Bit of a weird graphical issue here, probably due to the generated rooms. The way the roof just cuts out here. Okay, next we're going back to the archives through the left room. Oh, the archives have pipes. Okay. The archives have pipes. Need to write that down. Okay. We're trying left. We're trying to loop around here. Trying to stay on the left side. Because I'm still looking for the mail room. Okay. I have to go for mailroom because this is literally, we can only do this today, I think. So I have to absolutely go for the mailroom, which will lock me out of the left side. So hopefully we'll be able to loop around on the right side, but I need to know what the mailroom has for us.